Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a new show I like to call the Weekly Meme Cap. It's a recap of memes from this week. On this week's Weekly Meme Cap, memes! First up on the menu, we've got the Costco Guys, a father and son combination who've been posting videos to TikTok that have gone giga-viral over the last week and have been dubbed the Costco Guys for two reasons. One, they're a couple of guys, and two, they don't blink.
We're Costco Guys. Of course we go shopping while eating a chicken bake.
We're Costco Guys. Of course we had to try the new double chunk chocolate cookie.
We're Costco Guys. Of course we have to try out the furniture.
We're Costco Guys. Of course we work out with the tires.
Two things that worry me when it comes to the Costco Guys. One, how do you guys afford to shop at Costco when you're clearly spending all of your money getting your eyebrows done? I mean, I don't need any tips, you can see mine, but Jesus, drop the technique. And two, of all the stores in the world that don't need advertising from the people who are already spending money there, Costco's number one, right after Apple, which I guess would make them number two. Even if you live in a place that doesn't have a Costco that you can access, I am sure at some point you've heard the story, the renowned $1.50 hot dog and soda combination at Costco. The fact that it's a great hot dog, that it's so inexpensive, that Costco actually loses money on every hot dog and soda that they sell. Oh, what a glorious sacrifice they're making for you, the customer. The head of Costco is even notably known as telling another head of Costco that if he ever increases the price of the $1.50 hot dog and soda combination, that he would kill him. I don't even think that's a real quote. I'm pretty sure it's been debunked. The fact that people wear this hot dog and soda combination on clothing that Costco doesn't even sell. People are making this because they love this combination so much, and for good reason. When you pay $60 to have the luxurious opportunity to shop at Costco where you can buy 8 gallons of milk for $40 and somehow that's considered a deal, I would hope I could at least save a little money on the hot dog I'm grabbing on my way out. If you need to buy 200 rolls of toilet paper, or if you're the sort of individual who can eat 30 croissants before they actually start getting moldy, then sure, Costco's the place to be. But when you take a look at their shoppers, the fact that they've got this cult-like following, despite the fact that everybody has to pay to be able to shop there, it's a little bit weird that so many people have such a devotion to a multi-billion-dollar corporate entity. And it's this combination of all hail corporate, as well as the fact that these two guys didn't blink once during this entire 2-minute TikTok that has led to a bit of mockery online.
We're Costco Guys. Of course we go shopping while eating a chicken bake.
We're Costco Guys. Of course we had to try the new double chunk chocolate cookie.
We're Costco Guys. Of course we have to try out the furniture. We're Costco Guys. What the heck is this thing?
My favorite comment from that TikTok is from CEO of Women's Rights who wrote, "We're Costco Guys. My mom flinches when my dad moves suddenly," which, if I have to guess, probably has something to do with the fact that they didn't blink during the entirety of it. But let's be fair. If you love Costco, you love Costco. Nothing wrong with a dad and a son having some fun on social media, even if they are wrapping their entire identity around the fact that they shop at a particular store. But if they didn't do that, it might not distract us from the fact that it's very obvious that they're from New Jersey, which doesn't seem like it should be a bad thing, but it still makes me feel uneasy.
Hey Daddy, what's that?
It's a double chunk chocolate cookie.
Hey, Big AJ, what's that?
It's a double chunk chocolate cookie.
Big AJ, what's that?
It's a double chunk chocolate cookie.
Big AJ, what's that?
It's a double chunk chocolate cookie.
Is it just me, or does it feel like Big AJ is getting progressively more and more aggressive every time he answers this question? I'm starting to think he's getting pissed off, which is weird because he's recording his own TikTok. Also, how come the first kid calls him daddy, but the second kid calls him Big AJ? Did you just steal somebody's kid for this? Hey, Big AJ, what's that? It's a double-barrel shotgun, and I'm gonna pull the trigger if you ask me one more time. There's nothing wrong with a dad and his son enjoying some time out and making some goofy videos online while they're doing it. I'm completely fine with it. I wish them no ill will. Honestly, you should do it for other companies. Why just be the Costco Guys? How about you guys be the Boeing Guys? That'd be fun. Transition! I'm sure you guys are all familiar with Hustlers University, the notorious online class hosted by Andrew Tate, in which he would teach men how to be alpha. Well, they've seemed to have not found any other professors to replace Andrew Tate ever since he ended up in a Romanian prison, but it turns out there are other projects like this online, namely one that I found earlier this week on Twitter called the MDK Project, where for the low price of $10,000, you can spend 3 days going through grueling military training in order to make you a better husband and father somehow. I assume getting yelled at by a dude who definitely didn't take his meds comes free with their promotional video.
Around, look at each other. Look to your left and to your right. More than 60% will not be here fucking Friday. I guarantee it. And I'll make sure that you earn the right to be here every fucking second. And I'll take this fucking knife off my fucking waist and carve this fucking tattoo off my fucking hand before I let any of you fucking bitches show up here on Friday for the graduation.
Wow. I mean, I know cocaine's gotten stronger since the 90s, but honestly, I had no idea. $10,000 just to get screamed at like this. If you want to spend that kind of money and get yelled at all the time, just get married. It's basically the same thing. Also, what is this dude so upset about? Willing to carve the tattoo off of his arm with a knife before he lets anybody in the room show up to the graduation that they paid 5 figures to attend? What is this business model? Genuinely just feels like an excuse to show off the fact that he has a tattoo and a knife, which, to be fair, that's kind of badass. But according to their website, the Modern Day Knight Project, while the end goal is to turn you into an alpha male, is effectively just going through a military-style boot camp in order to toughen you up in one way or another. You can just join the military. Instead of paying 10 grand to do that for 3 days, you can do it for as many years as you want to, and they'll even give you a Camaro. I hate these faux Hustlers University online class bullshit because every single one of them just preys on the insecurity of people who are trying their best and ripping away money that they could be spending otherwise to support the families that you claim that they need to be the leader of. Oh, $10,000 to roll around in the mud and run a couple of miles, get yelled at by a dude who hasn't had hair since he's been in his mid-20s, and suddenly that's gonna make you an alpha? Sounds like about the most beta shit you could possibly do. You don't need to be an alpha, you need to be a hyena. Hit the subscribe button and join the cackle. That's how you're gonna lead your family to success. Oh, is $10,000 to my Patreon a little too much? I knew you were a beta. Apple is currently being sued by the Department of Justice over anti-competitive behaviors because of their market monopoly, so is claimed by the Department of Justice. This is all stuff that I'm sure you guys are actually probably familiar with at this point, whether you have an iPhone or not. Apple is notorious for making stuff work smoothly so long as you have an iPhone or an Apple Watch, and not so much if you use anything made by anybody else. The 88-page document, according to an interview I'm seeing by CBS News, because I can't be bothered to read it, alleges that a bunch of Apple stuff is anti-competitive in nature. Smartwatches, other than the Apple iWatch, aren't able to reply to messages. That's saved exclusively for if you have an Apple Watch. Tap to pay on an iPhone only works when using the Apple Wallet, so you can't use the Google Wallet as smoothly. Apple only allows you to download apps through the Apple App Store, allowing them to have an overwhelming hand in what actually can be downloaded to your phone, on top of the fact that they take an overwhelming 30% cut of any in-app purchases, which has become such an issue that Netflix doesn't even let you sign up for Netflix on an iPhone and forces you to use the website so that they don't need to pay Apple that 30%. And let's not get started on the fact that you can't even have the fancy blue text speech bubbles unless you're on a $1,000+ phone. It's no surprise that Apple would limit the ability to use Tap to Pay when they make 0.15% on every transaction when using Apple Pay. It's no surprise that they would diminish the ability to use smartwatches other than the Apple Watch because they make the Apple Watch, and it's no surprise that they don't let you download apps from anything other than their App Store when they take a 30% cut of all the money that gets spent there. Up until recently, you couldn't even charge your phone with a charger that wasn't made by Apple. If it wasn't for the stigma, the selfies on an Android phone make you look like a Roblox character or something from GTA San Andreas, no other company would be able to get away with the shit that Apple does. And it's nice to see that finally somebody's gonna hold them accountable. And I hope that by leveling the playing field, it will force Apple to get more sales on their phones by innovating and making new stuff. I've got my fingers crossed, hoping for a folding iPhone. I would buy one. Pornhub recently started requiring age verification when trying to access their website from the great state of Texas, which a lot of people have found issue with because who wants to upload an ID to prove your age to log into your porn website. Who even has a Pornhub account? Nobody does that. The funniest thing I've noticed, because it was actually banned in Virginia, the state that I live in, is that you can actually engage your webcam so that they can visually verify your age with a scan that they claim isn't saved in a database. I'm sorry, but I'm not giving you both my face and the category that I'm watching on Pornhub. Not a big issue for me. This video isn't sponsored, but I use Surfshark VPN, and you get a discount if you use discount code Sumito. The more interesting and recent news is Ron DeSantis, down in Florida, has recently made it that all major social media platforms need to ban anybody under the age of 14. They need to either prove that they're over the age of 14 or have a parent's consent to be able to access any major social media platform. Obviously, this is a stupid rule. If you're gonna ban anything from children, they're just gonna find a way to access it. And the internet's a little bit too big of a place for you to police, in my opinion. But I understand the idea behind it. It's to keep kids safe and make it so that they don't get exposed to material online that they shouldn't be seeing, like naked ladies or Mexican cartel beheading videos. Much like the situation with the TikTok ban and net neutrality, we can all already agree that giving the government the ability to limit what you can see online is probably a bad thing, because their idea of what's okay to see probably doesn't align with your idea of what's to see. When I was 14, I accessed the internet and was able to watch tons of stuff on YouTube that led me to get to this point where I can edit, record, and share stuff with you guys. And also I watched a lot of Mexican cartel beheading videos. Florida school districts have been in the news since early this year, talking about the fact that they've been banning books available to kids in school districts that explore ideas of transgenderism and homosexuality. And so a lot of people have come to the consensus that this ban on social media for anybody under the age of 14 is really just a war by Florida or Ron DeSantis from having kids exposed to LGBTQ pieces of media online. Which, if I gotta say, if the thing you're worried about is the internet turning your kids gay, you don't need to ban every social media platform, just ban Tumblr. If you ban every kid under the age of 14 from using the internet, how is PewDiePie gonna afford his house in Japan? Did you think about that, Florida? Thanks for watching another episode of the weekly meme cap. If you guys want to see this more often, remember to hit the subscribe button to join the hyenas, baby. And a big shout out to the patrons scrolling in the back. Thank you so much for making this show possible. I will catch you guys on the next one. Peace.